I just woke up, clearly still in my robe. I am barely enjoying my coffee, but I just had to share this with you. My bestie gifted me this book, Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, and I want to share this with you. Elizabeth Gilbert is, you know her from the Eat, Pray, Love. She was the author of that. And this book, I've been eating it. I'm eating it up. I've been reading it, and it's essentially about unlocking creativity and letting it flow, and not seeking for permission in doing it, but also not seeking validation in the end result, if that makes sense. And it's more so about letting creativity flow, and how we are so often the very hindrance of allowing a creative pursuit to come to pass, and how it's really about who you become in the process, what you learn in the process of creating something that is really important, versus thinking about, oh, is this going to be good enough, or is this going to be great by its own merit, and kind of seeking that validation. And I just want to read a little bit to you, because it's great. I'm almost finished with it, but I mean, look at how it begins. It just begins with like a Q&A. Question is, what is creativity? And the answer she gives is the relationship between a human being and the mysteries of inspiration. Love it. Now, what I love is that it's very easy to read. It doesn't even it has sections more so than chapters, and within the big sections of the book, it really kind of breaks it into kind of little bite-sized, stories or sections. So, for example, it goes like this, and it's a couple pages long each time, and then, or even you've got things like this, right? That it's got one section and then the other. And they are almost individual, bite sized thoughts, but they're all related to creativity. And I love it. One in particular that I think is, oh, it's so timely. Once I read this, and this is, mind you, on page 9, I was hooked on this book. And it was so resonant because it, you'll see. Okay. So check this out. One of the coolest examples of creative living that I've seen in recent years, for instance, came from my friend Susan, who took up figure skating when she was 40 years old. 40. She had competed in figure skating as a child and had always loved it, but she'd quit the sport during adolescence when it became clear that she didn't have quite enough talent to be a champion. Ah, lovely adolescence, when the talented are officially shunted off from the herd, thus putting the total burden of society's creative dreams on the thin shoulders of a few select souls, while condemning everyone else to live a more commonplace, inspiration free existence. What a system. Okay, it gets better. For the next quarter of a century, my friend Susan did not skate. Why bother if you can't be the best? Then she turned 40. Does that resonate at all? It totally hit me. How many things maybe did you do when you were younger that you were discouraged by because a teacher or somebody, a peer or somebody that was better than you, discouraged you, and you left it there, but there was always this underlying nostalgia and urge to do that thing, but you were crippled by not pursuing it because you were like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not going to be the best, so why bother? Yeah, I certainly have. So then she turned 40. She was listless, she was restless, and she felt drab and heavy. Girl, I know I have felt drab and heavy. Have you? Let me know. She did a little soul searching, the way one does on the big birthdays. I certainly have, at 30, at 35, and certainly at 40. She asked herself, this is key, when was the last time she'd felt truly light, joyous, and yes, creative in her own skin? I wonder if you ask yourself that question. When was the last time you felt light, joyous, and creative in your own skin? How old are you? Do you remember the specific moment? I bet you do. Let me know in the comments. I'll share mine as well. To her shock, she realized that it had been decades since she'd felt that way. In fact, the last time she had experienced such feelings had been as a teenager, back when she was still figure skating. She was appalled to discover that she had denied herself this life affirming pursuit for so long, and she was curious to see if she still loved it. This is the best part. So she followed her curiosity. I love this. Meaning she didn't just wallow in her misery or disappointment or defeat or sadness. She said, all right, I want to discover this. Do I even still like this? She bought a pair of skates, found a rink, hired a coach, and she ignored the voice within her that told her that she was being self indulgent and preposterous for this crazy thing. I mean, can you imagine? She stamped she tamped down her feelings of extreme self-consciousness at being the only middle-aged woman on the ice with all these teeny, feathery 9-year-old girls, and she just did it. 3 mornings a week, Susan awoke before dawn, and in that groggy hour before the demanding day job began, she skated. And she skated, and she skated, and yes, she loved it as much as ever. Oh, what a thrill. I imagine Susan in that first time after doing that first skate in the early morning before going to her job. What was that drive like? Oh, just like the exhilaration. I literally get goosebumps. Like what an amazing feeling. She loved it even more than ever, perhaps, because now as an adult, she finally had the perspective to appreciate the value of her own joy. Skating made her feel alive and ageless. She stopped feeling like she was nothing more than a consumer, nothing more than the sum of her daily obligations and duties. She was making something of herself, making something with herself. Ah, and this is great right here. Please note, this is Elizabeth, the author, speaking, that my friend did not quit her job. She didn't sell her home, did not sever all her relationships, and move to Toronto to study 70 hours a week with an exacting Olympic level skating coach. And no, the story does not end with her winning any championship medals. It doesn't have to. In fact, the story does not end at all because Susan is still figure skating several mornings a week, simply because skating is still the best way for her to unfold a certain beauty and transcendence within her life that she cannot seem to access in any other manner. That's what I call creative living. So the reason, and I literally get goosebumps reading this because what an impactful story. And that's the point, isn't it? It's not about picking up a hobby or something that you know inside you really enjoy, want to do, but it's about how does that make you feel within your body, within your skin, as a woman? What creative flow are you missing out on because you're afraid of other people judging you or questioning what you're doing as if, oh, what's the point of that? The point is there is no end. I love how she said there's no end to this story, and it's not about her winning any competitions or medals. It's the fact that she's doing it, and that is the way that she unfolds this beauty and transcendence and creativity in a way that she wouldn't otherwise be able to tap into. And who knows the impact that just this skating a few times a week has impacted Susan in her work, in her personal life, in her relationships, in herself as a woman, and what other creative projects she's been inclined to because she just decided to explore this curiosity again. And so I just want to encourage you, if you're a reader and you want to grab this book, I'll leave a link below for you to get it on Amazon. It's thick, but it's really an easy read. And I'm telling you, that's like one of the first stories in the book, page 9. And it really kind of opened up this perspective for me. And I hope that it does for you. And I'm curious, what is that thing for you that maybe you really enjoyed when you were younger that you kind of, left in a corner collecting dust, and now you maybe are curious about if you even still enjoy it. What's maybe holding you back from doing it? Would love to hear in the comments what that is for you. And I challenge you to explore it again. And like Susan, see if you even still like it. I bet you that you'll discover some new beauty and creativity unfold from it. I'd love to hear it. So won't you share it below? That's it. That's the video. I'm going to get back to my morning. I'll see you next time.